Oh, so I can watch people dig a pool in the Southeast Asian jungle. Sorry about that. Come here, girl. Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls. Normally, when I cover text messages, it's about really creepy guys doing unhinged things to women through texts or videos, whatever. Today's a little different. This is only like the second time I've covered a story like this, where a guy encountered a woman, and it was very different dynamic of things that happened. However, what I want to talk about here is actually the way that this guy handles the situation, because I actually think it's a masterclass in how to communicate effectively. I'll bring you up to speed on the lore that lead to these text messages. The original poster here on Reddit is a man who has been talking to a woman for a couple of hours, and then he receives these messages. Hi, I've been thinking about you all evening. Get you out of my mind, handsome. I know it's a little early to say this, but I have such a special feeling about you. And he goes, oh wow, that's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that so much. She says, you're welcome. While you've been away, I even told my mom and my friends about you. It truly takes a rare kind of guy.
The character of Death first appeared way back in Family Guy's second season and was an instant fan favorite thanks to his sarcasm and dry wit.
Come on, man. Which one is Peter Griffin?
This is Peter Griffin.
Hey, that's a good one.
And because of his popularity, he quickly became a semi-recurring character. He even got a bunch of his own action figures. But then one day, he just
AI models can't cross this boundary, and we don't know why. As we train an AI model, its error rate generally drops off quickly and then levels up. If we train a larger model, it will achieve a lower error rate, but requires more compute. Scaling to larger and larger models, we end up with a family of curves like this. Switching our axis to logarithmic scaling, a clear trend emerges, where no model can cross this line, known as the compute optimal or compute efficient frontier. This trend is one of three neural scaling laws that have been broadly observed. Error rate scales in a very similar way with compute, model size, and data set size. And remarkably doesn't depend much on model architecture or other algorithmic details, as long as reasonably good choices are made. The interesting question from here is, have we discovered some fundamental law of nature, like an ideal gas law for building intelligent systems? Or is this trend just a result of the specific neural network-driven approach to AI that we're taking right now? How powerful can these models become if we continue increasing the amount of data, model size, and compute? Can we drive errors to zero, or will performance level off? Why are data, model size, and compute the fundamental limits of the systems we're building? And why are they connected to model performance in such a simple way? 2020 was a watershed year for OpenAI. In January, the team released this paper, where they showed very clear performance trends across a broad range of scales for language models. The team fit a power law equation to each set of results, giving a precise estimate for how performance scales with compute, dataset size, and model size. On logarithmic plots, these power law equations show up as straight lines, and the slope of each line is equal to the exponent of the fit equation. Larger exponents make for steeper lines and more rapid performance improvements. The team observed no signs of deviation from these trends on the upper end, foreshadowing OpenAI's strategy for the year. The largest model the team tested at the time had 1.5 billion learnable parameters and required around 10 petaflop days of compute to train. A petaflop day is the number of computations a system capable of 1 quadrillion floating point operations a second can perform in a day. The top-of-the-line GPUs at the time, the NVIDIA V100, is capable of around 30 teraflops. So a system with 33 of these $10,000 GPUs would deliver around a petaflop of compute. That summer, the team's empirically predicted gains would be realized with the release of GPT-3. The OpenAI team had placed a massive bet on scale, partnering with Microsoft on a huge supercomputer, equipped with not 33, but 2,000 V100 GPUs.
Hi, Forbes Riley here. Like many of you, I take my well-being as an absolute top priority. I learned that
Being a celebrity requires you to change your body to Hollywood norms at any moment it's popular. Whether it be through plastic surgery to look like a wax figure on video 24/7, whether it be to suck up all the fat through your body and put it in your butt, Hollywood is notorious for making people go through egregious things just to fit the role of what people expect. And for the past 10 years or so, that standard was the one and only BBL. The BBL stood king for the longest because something men like more than money is spending that money on a girl with a fat. The switch from Tatas being the Hollywood standard to the BBL was aggressive. We had no wait time for real. It just came through in one swoop and destroyed everything behind it. I don't think there's any more boob guys for real. It's kind of sad. It's like they all got genocided in a decade. And I'm not saying all the girls in Hollywood who have big butts got them through BBLs, but the ones you immediately saw go from the most petite, skinny woman ever to having one you can back up in a parking garage were obvious. And most people attribute this rise to two people, Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj. Kim K's was crazy because she went from looking like Taylor Swift in the Eras tour one year to Kim Kardashian. She looked good before still, so I don't even know why she decided to do it. But it was probably the best decision she ever made in her life. I remember all the jokes I heard about Kim's BBL. There were so many TV shows that would make fun of it in this new streaming world. No! No!
Ken, what's wrong? A black ball went to waste.
And it officially became the Hollywood norm. Same with Nicki Minaj too, who as soon as the Anaconda music video dropped back in 2014, it was solidified. I know so many that had their sexual awakening as soon as this video came out. At that moment, it was basically you either had to get a BBL or work out to get a fat ass, or you were gonna fall off as a female celebrity. It started off as just a celebrity requirement, but now it's become more and more of a requirement for some women, to the point where they'll take out loans just to get a BBL surgery. Paying off a BBL like you pay off a car note is insane work. Unless you got a sugar daddy set up right after, you better have the money ready for it. I think most of y'all also know this, but BBLs are also a very dangerous surgery. One of the most dangerous, actually, which makes it even scarier that it's become a norm. When the doctors inject that fat from one part of your body to another, if it gets injected too deeply into the butt, it can cause something called a fat embolism, which blocks blood flow to your vital organs like your heart or lungs and leads to death. So some girls out there take the risk of having a fat organs get suffocated and dying of painful death. That might be worth it if you're a famous celebrity and it's gonna make you.
Yo, what's up? Show me some news. Oh, brother, I'm back now. Show me some deals. Oh, oh my fucking God.
of weeks because that actual incision needs to heal. So you'll see videos people
Fucking retards.
take the same flight to get a BBL and a cheaper country. And they're really surgery.
So I got on my flight today, and everyone seemed ready to get surgery. They didn't know each other. Remember this, if you get a BBL, don't forget about the flight home.
How do you get all that way to afford a flight to another country and get a surgery, but you still fly an economy? Make it make sense. If one thing goes awry with the surgery later on too, it can go from being perfectly shaped to looking like Groovy from Looney Tunes. You can see this happen to celebrities all the time, and the photos look absolutely disgusting. Would have been better off just getting a gym membership, bro. But this
Look what Allison has. And what Highlander doesn't. Hopefully, for that day, Allison wins every time. I just need to see stuff like that with my parents. What's up? And then you okay, what was this whole trip for? I got this banner.
how do you get all that way to afford a flight to another country and get a surgery, but you still fly an economy? Make it make sense. If one thing goes